I'm third generation from Ann Arbor. My mother was born in Ann Arbor, and my grandmother was born in Ann Arbor. Ann Arbor was such a wonderful place to be. It was my artistic home. So going to the University of Michigan it wasn't something that I took for granted because I had applied to other colleges, but Michigan was going to give me a scholarship. And that really made a difference, especially being an African American student and wanting to make art, needing to make art my entire life and being supported by my parents in so many ways. The first challenge came when I was a freshman, and I'll mention it again, but it was in a 2D design class. And we were given this assignment to do an album cover based on one of the Beatles songs. My first freshman assignment as a student in Michigan. So I finished it, and we tacked all of our assignments up on the board. And even after my support of my assignment, this professor eviscerated it, humiliated me in front of the class, and just said to me after class, "You should drop my class. You should do something that your people are more comfortable in finding a profession in." And I was dumbfounded. And what could I do? I mean, I went home, I took the bus home that evening and talked to my parents, and they told me what they had said to me when I was 11 or 12. The world is going to say no to you. You have to say yes to yourself. I just can imagine how proud my parents would be of their daughter who they supported through their love. They never once asked me how I was going to make a living. They never once asked me that. You know, I'd been brought up in a household where sometimes my parents worked 2 jobs, but they understood something about their little girl who loved her art corner and who has always maintained an art corner wherever she's landed. So this is really quite significant. At the time, I went through this kind of slide repository that this African-American man had compiled, addresses, phone numbers, that kind of thing. So I wanted to do that thesis project because I needed to know that I wasn't alone as being this young African-American artist. And so I sent out 300 letters, questionnaires to all of these artists, and I received, I think, 18 back responses. In this thesis book, it was doing the research and reading the responses of some of the questions I asked. And it was amazing. There's a letter in here written by Palmer Hayden, who was born in the 1883. And he answered my questionnaire when he was 81. He says, "The simple urge to express in visual forms my observation of the life around me." Here is a man who lived through the Harlem Renaissance, and if you look up his work, he was this wonderful kind of quirky painter. This was history. I mean, some of these artists are no longer with us. Jacob Lawrence, Benny Andrews, Emma Amos. And these were artists who were having a particular moment in their own art practice, but they were not necessarily mentioned in mainstream media. These were practicing artists that had been doing so and who were on the vanguard of creating a voice for African American artists. And people will ask, well, why do you have to have an exhibition, for Black artists? Well, at the time, there was no other venue, because there weren't any venues or gallery spaces on campus, so I had to find something off campus. When I was a student, Black History Week, it was a week in February. That was when all the exhibitions would take place, and you would get nothing after that. One of the things I will always mention is that the art never changes, you do. And at various stages of your life, you're gonna look at something and you go, oh my goodness, I'm looking at it differently. And for me, as I'm maturing, I'm feeling different kinds of things. In movies I've looked at even art I looked at. I remember being a student and not liking Chagall's work at all, because I didn't get these people flying through the air and kissing and with the embrace, until I reached a point when I went, well, damn, this man was really on to something. Well, the art didn't change, but I did. And what inspires me is everything around me. It's finding your own voice. And sometimes that takes a lifetime. It's the love of it. And it's the evolving love that grows with time. And I cannot imagine myself doing anything else.